Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you 3 quick, easy Americana DIY Dollar Tree decor items. The first one is these bowls. So I've taken these decorative bowls. They come in brown, beige, and white. So you're going to need the white ones. And you're going to need some red paint and some blue paint. I happen to pick these Krylon spray paints. I had them from a project left over from last year. But you could use regular craft acrylic paint. Okay, and when you do regular craft acrylic paint, get yourself a tweezer so you can paint them. Also, what would be a really good idea is if you took like a craft stick and you stuck it in one of the holes, and then this way you could stand it up to dry. But what I'm going to do is some indoor spray painting. Now, it's never recommended to spray paint indoor, and especially this is oil based spray paint, not acrylic. But what I did was I brought them in my bathroom because I have an interior fan, and I opened the window so I get good ventilation. But it was so humid outside that I knew that they would never dry. They would stay tacky. And I want to get this project done for you guys, and it's not going to be any less humid in the next 5 weeks. So I've taken a box, like I said, I covered the floor with garbage bags. I've taken a box and I've sprayed the balls, and I'm rolling them around so I can spray all the different sides. I am using my fingers because, you know, sometimes you get messy when you paint. But if you want to grab a tweezer or, like I said, craft sticks will help you move it around. Some people use silicone spatulas for their crafting, so anything like that will help. And you see I'm just rolling them around, and then after a few minutes, I left them just a few minutes in there, I dumped them out to let them dry on the plastic. Because I was using these as decorative bowls and I wasn't really worried about 100% coverage, I went ahead and I started spraying the blue because I really wanted to get the smell out of my house. So the faster I got finished, the faster the smell would get out of my house. And I put a piece of plastic down so that the bowls wouldn't touch the red paint, and I'm spray painting the blue balls on the plastic. Now the reason I did the small ones blue and the big ones red, and I wish I did have 2 sets of each, to be honest with you, is I felt like the blue, half the blue and half the little blue and the little white to me represented the stars on the flag, and the red, the big red and the big white represented the stripes on the flag. So that's why I did that particular combination. And that's just it. When they're dry, you put them in a bowl. So here they are. I put them in just the candy dish, the pedestal candy dish that I had. And then I tried to doll them up a little bit. So here they are with just a Dollar Tree garland underneath them, which looked really cute. This Dollar Tree garland I have seen this year, but I bought it last year, just so in case you haven't seen it in a haul, you don't think I'm crazy. Here is Dollar Tree red jute burlap ribbon, and then some of that white burlap that I had left over from Eden's wedding. And I think that looks so perfect. In fact, that's the way I actually left it, the way I'm decorating with it. And here it is just from different angles. And if you move the balls around, I wanted to show you those 2 shots. If you move the balls around, you also get different effects, and you get a different look just by moving the balls around and switching the reds next to the blues and that kind of stuff. All right. And then this final one is I just took Dollar Tree scarf and I laid it in the bowl. This is the white one with the stars on it, and laid the balls on top. And I just thought it was just something extra. It just gave it a tiny bit extra. And I'm sure you could do this with any of the scarves. I just happen to have the white one extra, so I did it with that. And then here I just took some of those red, white, and blue flowers and I laid them in the bowl along with the balls. And that is also a very cute look for, you know, no extra money. I think this whole thing costs $3. You know, if you include the dish, of course it's more, but that is that. This next one is the super easiest one ever. So we're going to take that same garland and we're just going to cut little tiny pieces of it off. Also, we're going to use some sort of sticks. Now I wanted to show you that the sticks that I used actually came off the gold eggs at Easter time. But you can get lots of picks at the Dollar Tree. You can also get skewers at the Dollar Tree. I just didn't want to spend any more money than I had to, and I already had these sticks laying around. I know, I'm weird. I save all these kinds of things. Jim's always like, what are you saving flower stems for? Listen, you guys know. Flower stems, keep them. Okay? But you can see this is what the stick was. It was just that little, poked into that little egg. And you do have to sometimes clean off some of the glue, which is fine. But all I did was put a dollop of hot glue on the top. I took a piece of the garland, and I was like, nah, I don't want the blue star, so I'll take the blue star off. But I took a piece of the garland, and if you've seen the different garlands that we make for the different holidays, you know that this is just some tinsel that's spun between 2 wires. So you just find the section you want, you slide it apart so that you have the expose the wire. Then once you have that done, you fold the wire back over onto itself, and that's what locks the tinsels in place. Okay, and here I am just cleaning off that. I want to show you that you can just clean off this little bit of glue here. It's not you know, terrible looking, which is fine. You put a little bit of hot glue and you basically just stick it in the middle of that silver pom-pom that we made. And I just thought they looked like sparklers. I wanted to just accent them to my flower arrangements out in the living room, which you'll see in a second. And then I wanted to make 3 different heights. That's what I thought that would look cute. I just have to get more skewers so I can make some for the other side. So I took the one of the skewers and I cut it not in half, but in like 1/3 to 2/3 so that they would be evenly spaced. And I repeated it with the same top. I show you on this last one that you can actually use more and make it even fluffier if you want to, which is kind of cool. If you want to slowly pull out some strands of tinsel, then they can make, you can have different varying heights. But I just thought they looked really cute with just like, they look like little sparklers, and I thought they were really cute. And then I'm placing the sparkler where I wanted them to land in their height, and then I trim the bottoms. And this one just trims with a scissor, or you can use kitchen shears, or you can use wire cutters will also work. And now I'm just showing you just an example. I put the bowls in a vase, and I'm sticking the the sparklers wherever I can. But it's just that simple. And sometimes when you buy sparklers, they're not on natural looking sticks. You can color the sticks silver or black or brown, whatever you want, whatever preference you have, whatever decor you're trying to match. Okay? And that's it. It's just that, like I said, it's really just that simple. And here's just a sample of what it looks like in this little vase from the Dollar Tree with these balls from the Dollar Tree. And I just thought they were super cute, and they just add that little something to my flower arrangement. And at the end, you'll see them in the flower arrangement. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to make this lighted garland. So actually, it's a lighted garland, but it's really light. So you need this set of lights that I got at Christmas time. They are with the white cord. You're going to need a blue permanent marker and a red permanent marker. And then fabric of your choice if you want to go ahead and add it. I'm using denim, this red burlap, and then some of the white burlap left over from Eden's wedding. So basically all this is we're going to color light bulbs on with marker. So we're going to create red, white, and blue lighting. Now, I did put the flasher in the first position. You don't have to put the flasher in the first position. Any position will take the flasher. But if you know that the lights come with little tiny, a light bulb with a little tiny red tip, if you put that into the light set, that will allow them to flash. And I thought that they'd be cute, very festive to have them flashing. And you'll see in the video, I think it did come out that way. But I put it in the first position because I'm going to actually color these red, white, blue, red, white, and blue, and repeat. But, you always want to make sure you test the light bulbs out before you start any work on them, because God forbid you go through all that work and then nothing works. Okay? Yeah, eureka. So I put in the flasher, and just so you don't think yours is broken, flashers normally take a while to warm up. So there we go. Now you can see them flashing. Warning, if you have a seizure disorder, look away. And that's not a joke, that's warning. Okay? All right, so then what we're going to do is we're just going to take a marker and we're going to color in red, white, and blue. Now, I don't color all the way down to the base. I do leave a little tiny bit on the bottom. That is not necessary. I just feel like whenever you buy colored light bulbs, there's always just a little bit at the bottom that isn't, not all the time, but sometimes when you buy colored light bulbs, there's just a little bit exposed in the bottom that is not painted all the way to the surface. So, I mean, all the way to the cap. So I wanted to make sure I just did that. Now, in full disclosure, these lights are very bright. And when you see them on the tree, you can't distinguish. When you see them in the film, you can't distinguish between the red, the white, or the blue because they all shine very brightly. But in person, you can. There's a very faint hint of red and a faint hint of blue, which is, I knew what was going to happen because this isn't an actual light bulb coloring. This is just Sharpie. But you want to cover it and give really good full coverage, even just to get that faint red and faint blue. This technique probably would work a lot better on LED lights. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm definitely going to give that a shot in my next video. So, not my next video. the next time I get to do, anyway, the next time I get LED lights in my hands. So I'm just skipping every two and I'm doing red, white, and blue. That's the pattern that I wanted to do. And like I said, I'm spinning the light bulb around and I'm just coloring it, avoiding going all the way to the bottom, making it as neat as possible, getting good coverage. I really did wish this showed up on camera as well as it does at home. Now, my first thought for crafting for this Americana decor was to create the red, white, and blue lights, period, and then to create the rag banner, basically to tie all of those rags onto a string. But you know what? I love this at Christmas time so much. I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. And then I was back and forth about like, how many pieces of fabric do I want between each light bulb and how do I want to place them and stuff. So again, I like to inspire you guys. Don't copy me 100%. Just use me for inspiration. If you don't want to do them on lights, you can just take a piece of jute and you can tie the fabric onto the jute the same way you would onto the lights. Okay. And now we're going with the blue. So we're doing the same thing. We're finding where the blue would land. For me, it was just to the left of the red was going to be a blue light bulb. Now I know that not everybody was able to get the white string lights from the Dollar Tree at Christmas time. So you could do these with any. You could do these with green. You could do these with the battery operated lights. It's just that with the fabric on it, it tends to be a little heavier. So having like a normal light switch, like a UL light set would be better. All right. Okay. So now that I've gotten them all. Oh, one more. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start cutting out fabric. Now, I'm trying to determine how long we wanted each of them to be. I had some leftover fabric from the banners from last year, and those are measured at 7 inches, but we're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to measure about 9 inches. I'm going to make them about 9 inches long. There you go. So you can see, like, once I dim it, you can see a little bit how they're red and blue, right? Okay, good. That works. And I like to stretch this out the best that I can because it'll help tie the fabric on in a minute, okay? So now for the white, it is a sheet burlap that Eden had gotten for her wedding, and we used it to cover her, or I got it for Eden's wedding, I'm sorry, to cover her card box, and we had some left over, so I used it for the rag wreath, and now we're going to use it for this project as well. So I've cut like about 9-inch long pieces just for the effect that I was going for. And with the white burlap, I went ahead and I cut it. Now this would look really cute with the neutral burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. But unfortunately, the blue they have is a little bit too teal to actually make it pass for red, white, and blue. But the red's perfect, so I've cut the red, and the red I've cut in half lengthwise so that it's not really, really fat. It's about half the width. And actually, it's a little bit less than half, to be honest with you. I trimmed them each afterwards because it looks just nicer with the thin. It's also easier to tie when their fabric isn't so thick. All right. And for the, what is it? For the love of time? No, what is it? For the preservation of time. I'm just showing you how I do this last one. And I just cut up, if you don't remember how we've done this before, you just cut up between, basically what's a blank row. You cut right up the middle of 2 strings. Okay? And because there's 20 lights, I estimated 21 pieces of fabric, which would be 7 of each. And that's what I did. Now for the jeans, if you watch the rag wreath video, then these are leftover jeans that Emily given me that had all ripped up by the booty. And I went ahead and I cut little tiny strips, and each strip I cut. When you cut a strip through the leg, it ends up being a circle. Well, then I cut the circle both off right on the inside of the seam, so that there was a little bit of seam on each strip. Okay, so it just added to not just being denim fabric, but to being blue jeans, which gave it that homey feel. That country western. No, country western's not right. You know what I mean. Rustic country, farmhouse, that whole thing that we got going. All right, and then for the interest of time, for the interest of time, that's it. We're going to jump ahead and I'm going to show you how we tie them all on. So I actually did a little experiment to see which way I like better, because there is the way that ends up looking like a men's tie, and then there's a way to just tie it like you would tie your shoes. So I decided that the way you tie your shoes is the way I like it better. But you could, personal preference, you guys, if you've seen last year's Americana rag wreath, then you know what I'm talking about tying the fabric on like a men's tie. Basically, you put a loop and then you make a loop, put it around the wire, put both ends into the loop, and do it that way. And it kind of looks like a Windsor knot when you're done. But then I said, you know what? I really like it just to look like to tie it on. To tie it on is better. So that's what we're doing. And then we're tying them on. And again, I'm repeating red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue. I started and then I realized in hindsight it would have looked really cute to put the white between the red and blue lights and so forth, so on and so forth, and the blue between the white and red light and that kind of stuff. But I did this instead, so I just thought that was really cute. So I'm just going to continue to tie, and I know you guys love to see this, but there's no point. I'm just tying. I hadn't run into any problems. It was super easy. And all of these projects were done in less than an hour. So I had all 3 projects done in less than an hour, which is great. And what's really great, also, if you get a chance to use some old jeans, these ones have spandex in them, and they tie so nicely. Sometimes when you have a really thick denim, you have to cut your strip really narrow because it does, it's hard to tie. So it really helps that there's some stretch in here, okay? And in the interest of time, we've jumped ahead to the end of the video, and that's it. And I'm just going to tie on the last one. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to put one, the end of this ends with a light bulb, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to put one at the end of the other end. And I put it on there, and I was like, nah, you know what? It'll end with a light. It'll start with a light and end with a light, which is great. Okay? And that's this one. And then we went ahead and put it on the tree. And this is how it looks on the tree. It's so cute. If you see that little red bucket, blue bucket, and silver bucket, they were from the Dollar Tree last year in the Americana Decor. And I decided to hang them on my tree like ornaments. And my forever tree doesn't have any other lights on it. It just looks so sad. But we're going to get more, Jim promised. So that's it, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed these tutorial. That's what the sparkles look like in my flowers. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share with friends and family, anybody who might be interested in seeing these 3 little easy craft items that you can do with the kids. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. When you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know when we ever upload a new video. And as always, take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.